want to invoke Section 92, Stop 2C, for the removal of the Speaker of the Federal State. That's it. I still move. Mr. Oman, I represent the Speaker of the Federal. I hereby second the motion as moved.
They shall beat themselves, do all of that. They still remove the speaker. But that's what the news says, that eventually the speaker got removed for misappropriation of money and incompetence. What a lie. The irony of it all. Okay, well, let's go a bit further. Away from, the guy said he is only interested in how to help the people who are going to face what if Tinubu is going to do that to them, or is dishing out to them. And that's a Peter Obi. Then he goes, he was seen at an hospital, and I think somewhere in Abuja today. And he had this to say.
These are all the parents that's some of them are pastors and some of them are research. This is everybody who just was discharged today. He got surgery.
Sorry.
So this is his dad. So who do you want to come with? Okay, after the needs will come out, yes. So take pictures. No, we will. Okay. This is the partnership. This is the administrators who are partnering here. They were so gracious enough to let us use this facility, and they've been a great partner of ours as well. So we'll go up on this quickly and come down. The guy says you will doesn't take any resistance from the operating room. She came all the way from the UK. So this is Dr. Statee.
Thank you.
Okay. And she actually works with one of our surgeons in the UK.
Leicester. And there I work with one of the surgeons who belongs to Nigeria.
Well, I actually came to be able to see what the Hospital for Humanity is doing. It is a program that has gone on for years, voluntary commitment to helping us solve a critical problem with the kids. A heart problem. What they are doing is giving free heart surgery to kids. This is a critical thing which will affect several thousands of kids, but they can only operate about 1% of the population. So you could see is a very critical thing. Well, what I think we can do better is that this it is important that people look at what they are doing, appreciate it greatly, and remain like I'm sincerely grateful to the immeasurable contribution they are doing to humanity and helping us to build a better country. And urge those of us who are serving the country to emulate what they are doing and expand it. Because while about 80 children in Nigeria can be affected, they can only do maybe 300 surgery within a year. So you could see that it is just about 1%, if at all, that they can be treated within the year. So there's need to do more. So we need to collaborate with them and others and see that this is done all over the country. Well, very easily by investing in healthcare. I've always said that healthcare is the foundation of development because it's healthcare, education, and pulling people out of poverty that is the only measure of development. And so government can do more. And that is why I'm saying this. And again, Dr. Segun Ajayi and team, I thank you. All these people left their own country to come and help us. They would have just stayed back where they are and said, we have nothing to do with it. And they're doing it for free. We have to remain prayerful to Almighty God to bless you always. The same thing is, some of them, I also want to come back like Dr. Ajayi to help. It is for us in government to make it conducive for them to stay and to attract more Ajayis to come back. Because if we provide the enabling environment, they will come. I think we have enough. We don't have enough, but we can do more. And we will make sure that whatever penny that is budgeted is proper.
I mean, he has that for him. He continued to attract, positivity from the people. I mean, he continued to show you that indeed he probably won the election. So he continued to show that he could walk among the people because they voted for him if they were allowed to. And that's the one I want to say to you before I go to the next one as well. It's not about you voting. Remember, a very daft man, that young man that they now call him a blogger and human rights activist and all that, okay? So the very daft man was quoted to have said that Obi, Atiku, and the rest of the, all combined, right? They can't remove Tifnumbu, therefore Obi would never be president. So we said something about that this afternoon, and somehow some of you became so kind of upset about what he said. Forget about other things people have said about that man. I'm talking about the very daft man, okay? Now, maybe the way he said it, or it is true. Do you think that people didn't vote for Obi the last time? Do you think that Tinubu actually scored 8 million votes? Do you believe that? Well, Tinubu did not score up to 2 million votes, genuine one if they were to count it. And indeed, for the first time, you see, the obedient, they proved to all of us that all this one that the North is going to make you president. Is there anybody that did not endorse will be the president? Is a myth. It's absolute fallacy. It's nonsense. They demystified all of that. Yeah, they defeated Tinubu in his Lagos, like say, they beat him like say they catch a thief, like a common thief. That's how Obi beat the Obian is obedient. That's how they trashed. Alimosho local government is a stronghold of ACN, AD, ACN, and APC in Lagos State. They were trounced and beaten blue-black in Alimosho local government. So where do you now think Tinubu got the rest of the millions from? You think voted for him. So the problem is not about all of you getting PVC to want to vote. The problem is that a person where they count the votes, now them go get the power over you. So if you cannot get rid of a system that allows those who are counting your vote to count it for someone else or cancel this one or write figures here and there, if you cannot get rid of that system that allows that, you are just wasting your time. Obi alone can defeat Atiku, can defeat Tinubu in a free and fair election, and it's not because of Obi. He defeated them the last time. So they had to push him to third, hoping that it would be enough for them to stop him and keep him quiet forever, never to dare say he wants to contest election again. But he didn't go anywhere. It remains the only problem that they have. This Obi, this Obi, this Obi.
Yes, sir.
It's
This
been
Peter
negotiated.
Obi, I've told you, this Peter Obi, anybody who becomes president of Nigeria and does not give a right of place, I'm not saying an appointment, for Peter Obi, Peter Obi will remove that person from office in another election. Mark my words.
So are you saying this same wave
This same wave will not
can
stop.
be repeated?
This same wave, this Peter Obi, the people supporting him, the Peter Obi that I know, after this general election, they will continue.
Even though the next cycle of elections is in 4 years.
I'm telling you, those guys, sir,
It's
Do you understand? So, but the situation, the issue is not like it doesn't have that people. He has the millions of them. Whether you like him or not, it doesn't matter. He's the only guy they talk about every day. He's not your president. Atiku was the second they declared. Pastor Ruga was your ex-vice president. People are not calling him to give Tinubu idea. They are not calling Atiku to give Tinubu idea. They are calling Obi to go and give Tinubu idea of how to. Then when he won't give them, they said, Shebi Peter Obi talk saying go remove subsidy. So what is the big deal? Like, okay, say, but it didn't say we remove it like your druggy, illiterate Tinubu put it. Subsidy is gone. Me, I'm going to remove subsidy. There is nothing you can do about it. I'm going to remove subsidy. That was how the Agbero told you. But Obi told you that, yeah, subsidy would have to go, but it has to go in stages, which simply means you start removing it in stages. Remove 30%, remove 50%. While you are removing them, removing it, right? You're already building the structure, the infrastructure to kind of replace what is likely going to make life more, like hard for the people. He said it clearly. He said it openly. Tinubu told you, me, I'm going to remove subsidy. Yes, so anything you want to do about it, there's nothing you can do about it. He said it. But now you are asking Tinubu to come and you're asking Obi to come and give Tinubu idea. When he won't, then you said, hey, but Shebi Obi no says Obi said he's going to remove subsidy. All of them said it. So why is everybody complaining? Olori Buruku, that's not what they said. And that's what a lot of you have been telling yourselves. And that you are saying that to yourself doesn't mean that it is true. That if Tinubu told you subsidy was going to have no plan for you doesn't mean you have to call on Obi or Atiku to come and give him an idea. You are not even calling Pastor Ruga. Have you forgotten Pastor Ruga? Where is Pastor Ruga? You're not even calling him to come and give Tinubu ideas, economic ideas. Because all of you know what they do. So the issue is not about voting. Okay? It is mostly about the people who count the votes. Currently, out of 36 commissioners of INEC commissioners in Nigeria, 19 of them are members, card-carrying members of APC. Do you know that? Or do you want to wait till 2027 to start asking that they remove them? If nobody remove these people, that is the tomfoolery that some of us think. Is it worth it? subject yourself to this kind of a trauma again. Is it worth it? Maybe it does. Maybe it is worth it for some of you. So here is the good luck Egbere Jolantan. This is me rounding up, okay? So, and I still have like 2 or 3 videos, but I don't know if I should take calls, right? We are not many tonight. I could take an early break and go rest afterward, right? But don't go yet, okay? So Egbere Jolantan was in Rivers State to meet with Fubara, right? And he told him to try and work with Werewike. What does that even mean? Werewike has been stealing from the Rivers State people. Now he did that, and over 3 trillion naira of Rivers State people disappeared. Maybe not disappeared, mismanaged and stolen. Now he installed his own accountant general so that he could continue the fleecing. But the man, the coward, that threw in the towers when he was being rigged by the jihadists, because he does not want to kind of fight for any power, because no Nigerian blood is worth the power for good luck Egbere Jolantan. Then he handed Nigeria over to jihadists and terrorists. Then what happened? The blood of Nigerians started flowing like the ocean, slaughtered, killed, massacred by the terrorists. He saved his own life to sacrifice the lives of other millions. He knew them. He had all the intel. He knew what they were up to, how they were going to kind of unleash terror on the country, but he was such a coward. Now he's asking Fubara to be a coward. Learn how to work with Werewike. 2 of you should work together. To do what? To steal from the River State people, I think. Fubara said until February this year, even though he was sworn in as governor of River State on the 29th of May 2023, not until February this year, he was never acting as a governor. He was just acting as an appointee of Werewike until February, when he started taking decisions as governor. Can you believe that? But for Gage, Egbere Jolantan, learn how to work together for the River State people. Yeah, I need interpreter.
Governor, we commend you. And just like you made the request, we plead that the citizens of this state should encourage Fubara. He has shown within this short period that is somebody who is focused and who has a commitment to move River State to a higher level. And we need the maximum cooperation. And on that note, let me really plead, because the political tension in the state is coming too much. Transition in Nigeria is becoming a problem. At the center, presidents have been taken over from presidents. There are always issues, but at least it's better managed. But at the state level, it's becoming noisy in so many states. And I feel that it's not the best. Outgoing governors and incoming governors must know that they work together for the collective interests of the citizens of the states. And that is critical, because you must work together. In this case of River State, Honorable Minister Nyesom Wike and Governor Sim Fubara must work together for developing the land and the people of River State. The tension will not help us. River State is very critical in this country. River State is the heart of the Niger Delta. If River State is destabilized, the whole Niger Delta will be destabilized. And it will not end within the Niger Delta alone, because I'm from this part of the country and I know how the system works. And we wouldn't want any crisis in River State. Leaders must know that nobody takes 100%. You must learn the principle of give and take. So our own political actors must work together if you love the Rivers people. You must work together if you love the Rivers people. And I join the leaders of Rivers State and the well-meaning Nigerians that have been calling for truce. They have been calling for ceasefire to also re-emphasize that there is a need for ceasefire. Let us do things that will rather project the state. There is this common saying that when two elephants are fighting, the grass suffers. Both the governor and our minister are young people, very young people, but they are powerful. And if they continue to fight, the Rivers people will suffer.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian.
But now ogogoro, if they drink ogogoro, if they drink kai, very useless man. You know? Or again, it is Nigeria. And as it is, you are on your own. If you ever think any of these rogues actually have any love for you, but for themselves, then you probably deserve to be deceived every now and then. Ish. Let me add to the, I just want to get some of these guys, possibly, not just to get you thinking and talking, okay? I probably wouldn't mind. Okay, you know something? Let's take calls. But before we take calls, right? Listen to this.
My guy. All right, so yes, tithing was for the Leviticus priest, but only the 10% that God is talking about in the Bible. So let me break it down for the religious folks. You had 12 sons of Israel, 12 sons of Jacob. Everybody from every 12 tribe was given an inheritance of land, crops, and different things, except for the sons of Levi. That's why they're called the Leviticus priesthood. Levitical priesthood means son of Levi. You only could be a priest if you were of the blood of Levi. And first of all, a lot of y'all don't know if y'all even from the blood of Levi, but that's a story for another time. See, they were only given the inheritance of God, meaning everybody got land and everything else, but the priests were only dedicated to God himself. God gave them the temple to do the tithes and offerings and everything else. Their job was to stay in the temple all the time, to do the offerings and tithes. See, the thing with the tithes was the Levitical priest got their share of the tithes first because they didn't have inheritance. They didn't have crops, food, land, clothes, and etc. So what they did was when the people brought all their tithes to them to the temple, all their crop shares and fruits and clothes and things that they had, oils, flour, and etc., everybody was to bring their share of stuff for tithes and offerings. See, the Levitical priests would take out their share of tithes first so that they would have food and clothes or whatever they needed first. That's where the 10% comes from. The 10% belongs to God. They were God's inheritance. So when the priests took their parts, then they'll make the people stand in a line and dish out evenly different things to them that they need. The community. Just like they do today at shelters. The Bible says that the tithes is for widows, the fatherless, orphans, strangers, anybody who comes to them for help. The Bible tells you who the tithes are for. It says it was for these people. And then it was up for the priest to dish out these things to the people from the storehouse, the different things that people brought as tithes. So then the priests would dish out evenly to the people what they needed and who needed what. And then the rest that was left over, they just stack it back up in the storehouse. If these people needed food, give them food. If these people needed this, give them this. If this person needed clothes, to give them this piece of clothing. Tithes was for the people. It was food, flour, oil, clothes that the people brought to the priest. the priests will pick out their 10% that they want to keep as an inheritance from God. Then they will dish it out evenly upon the people of what they needed. That's where tithes come from. There's only one time in the Bible that money was mentioned for tithes. And that one time that it mentioned money is because that the people was traveling and it was time for them to give their tithes. And the stuff they gave was too heavy. They carried animals as tithes, big bags of flour, and other things. This stuff was heavy while they was traveling. So God said, go and sell your tithes and get the money. But once you get back to your destination, where you need to give your tithes to, you go